You're listening to
Man, finally, the news all of us Daredevil fans have been waiting to hear, man. And y'all saw the thumbnail. You already know what I'm talking about today. What's good, people? It's your guy, Bendu. Let's go ahead and get into this, man. So I have an article that I want to be going through from Cinema Blend, and I picked them specifically because he sat down, Kevin Feige sat down with them, and that's where the information is coming from directly. So I figured I would just read their article. But let's go ahead and get into this joint. So here we go. Kevin Feige confirms Daredevil casting in the MCU and fans will be pumped. This is by Sean O'Connell, last updated about 2 hours ago. The MCU found its man without fear, and he was always there the whole time. Over the years, certain actors have grown to become synonymous with the Marvel character they were hired to play. Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark. Chris Evans has claimed the fabric of Steve Rogers. Some roles can get recast, like Edward Norton handing the Hulk to Mark Ruffalo or Don Cheadle replacing Terrence Howard. But many lay claim to their character, and that's final. This is how many MCU fans feel about Charlie Cox, and rightfully so. And I'll give my opinion. I'm going to get through the article, watch the video, and then I'll give my opinions at the end. And his portrayal of the blind attorney, Matt Murdock, a.k.a. Daredevil. There have been calls to bring Cox over to the MCU and allow him to keep playing the man without fear. And it seems like Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige has been listening, as he always does. He's always listening and he's always watching. Kevin Feige, like some would probably think Kevin Feige's the watcher. He's more like the fucking living tribunal. Like literally, if you spoil his movie, he will come to your universe and destroy everything. That's literally what the living tribunal does. So in the comic books, the living tribunal basically, like, if he deems that, if he basically doesn't judge in your favor, he's kind of like Arishem and the Celestials in that sense, where like if he like deems, you know, your multiverse like to be drawing, basically you're going to get wiped out. And that's Kevin Feige to people that leaks his movie. So all them Spider-Man leaks, yeah, those people are no longer. It's like, nah. But the man behind the machine, that is the MCU, sat down with Cinema Blend recently and filled it out questions about Daredevil and the character's potential in the MCU. Now that his Netflix show has run its course, it'd be a shame not to feature Daredevil in either a Marvel feature or a Disney Plus show. And we asked Feige what he thought about Charlie Cox being able to stay in the part. To our surprise, the usually covert Kevin Feige confirmed the news that so many fans will want to hear when he told Cinema Blend, if you were to see Daredevil in upcoming things, Charlie Cox, yes, would be the actor playing Daredevil. Where we see that, how we see that, when we see that remains to be seen. Kevin Feige still kept some cards close to his vest with regards to the future of Daredevil when it comes to a concrete timeline, but those who loved Charlie Cox's portrayal of the character can rejoice in knowing that he will return to Hell's Kitchen at some point and patrol the streets on behalf of the neighborhood citizens. In light of a number of shows that have been developing, bringing Daredevil over makes more sense than it might have when a Netflix show ran its course. I actually have a counter argument to that, and I'll get to it. For instance, Hawkeye on Disney Plus just introduced the character of Echo, a deaf warrior with connections to Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin, which is probably more than likely where we're going to see Kingpin appear. And Daredevil has been a consistent thorn in Fisk's side for decades in the comics. There have been rumors that Vincent D'Onofrio, we literally saw him in the show already, like in episode, what was that? Yeah, in episode 3, we literally saw him already. Also from the Netflix Daredevil show is about to show up on Hawkeye. So pitting Cox against his former co-star is a natural progression. If Marvel Studios wanted to explore the legal aspects of Matt Murdock, who is as powerful in a courtroom as he is in a darkened alley, then Daredevil could be a natural fit on She-Hulk, another Disney Plus show that's in production now that will introduce audiences to Jennifer Walters, Tatiana Maslany, yet another superpowered citizen who practices law. Why is this such a common thing at Marvel Comics over the years? Charlie Cox's take on Matt Murdock and Daredevil was incredibly popular with Marvel fans, and an improvement over Ben Affleck's efforts in a Dune Daredevil movie that we don't talk about, that cast MCU rock star Jon Favreau's Foggy Nelson. We will see how many Netflix players follow Charlie Cox to the MCU if and when he arrives. But according to Feige, it's happening, and we know that all the fans are overjoyed. So let's watch the video where he talks about this. So this is video evidence. So I know like a lot of people like to come on here, be Debbie Downers. Well, Kevin Feige didn't confirm it, so it's not true. This is Kevin Feige confirming it with Amy Pascal with her crazy hair.
If you were to see Daredevil in upcoming
Yo,
things,
why she look like she just got electrocuted, bro? Why I look like Kevin Feige was torturing her for leaking all them Spider-Man leaks, bro. He was torturing her with electricity. That's why her hair looked like
Charlie Cox.
Let me chill.
Yes, would be the actor playing Daredevil. Where we see that, how we see that, when we see that, remains to be seen.
I know y'all seen that video where he when she was talking about like Spider-Man and shit, he was like, bitch, don't say that. That's not happening. You see what it's about, like, bro. Kevin Feige is funny, bro. Kevin Feige is like funny as hell. Bro, he's gonna be in Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, if y'all saw the leaks, he's gonna be in Spider-Man Far Away. And we already saw that's Kingpin. That's Vincent D'Onofrio. That's his laugh and everything. All right, yeah. So that's just rehashing everything we already saw, or I already read through. So yeah, man. So it's official. And as it like, look, to those that are new to the channel, and those of old as well that may not know, Daredevil is my favorite fictional character of all time. So there's nobody more excited about this than me. But I will say one thing: if they didn't recast Charlie Cox and they just if they just recasted him and completely restarted, I would be perfectly fine with that, because I feel like we got a perfect 3 seasons of we got the best iteration of Daredevil that they're ever going to do. In my opinion. And it would have sucked to see them move on, but I would be satisfied knowing I got those 3 perfect seasons of Daredevil. And especially season 3. Season 3 is like some of the best comic book television you're going to see in your life. So I was satisfied with the ending that we got. You feel me? Even though we didn't get to see Bullseye full-fledged, like, I feel like they even did Bullseye perfectly, man. They didn't so I felt like we got a perfect ending to the show. I was satisfied. If it ended like Iron Fist ended, we're on that major cliffhanger where, okay, it seems like this show might actually start getting good. They're going to bring in the 40s Iron Fist. Because his name, drawing a blank on his name. I wanted to say Wendell something. I'm about to Google that. I hate not knowing things. It bugs me. I literally cannot continue if I don't answer this. Orson Randall. They literally left us on that cliffhanger. And then Luke Cage. I think actually not. Luke Cage's cliffhanger was even worse, man. Like, he was going down more of like a villainous path. We never found out what happened to him. We're probably not. So basically, from what I heard, Kevin Feige likes basically Daredevil's cast, Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox especially. He likes Jessica Jones. He likes Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones, which I hope he brings her back. I know the show's going to be toned down a little bit, but honestly, I would be okay with that, bro. And especially given that at the end of that show, Trish was taken to the raft. So it would be dope to see Madam Hydra, or whatever her name is, from Black Widow. It would be dope. Val. It would be dope to see Val possibly recruit Trish, because Trish is in the raft. Now that they're making Daredevil canon, if they were to bring Kristen Ritter over, then that would be canon, basically. Which the Netflix shows were always kind of canon, but not really canon. Because, like for example, John Campy will talk about, and I love John Campy's show, but John Campy will talk about all the time, well, like, the Marvel shows don't really take place. Bro, the whole reason Kingpin was able to buy up all the properties in New York that he was able to buy up was because of the alien invasion in New York. Just because they call it something differently, or they don't, specifically reference. They're telling you, yo, this takes place in the MCU, but we're just not going to reference stuff because the studio producers and heads don't like each other, basically. A bunch of Hollywood BS. So that's what that was all about. But and he likes John. But going back to what I was saying, Feige also likes John Bernthal as Punisher. Now, if they were to bring Punisher, I actually look. I have a sneaking suspicion that we're going to get a Punisher cameo in Hawkeye. I may be wrong. And I probably am wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm just guessing. You feel me? Because it's like, what if they're leading us on? Like, I think we're definitely going to see Kingpin. But remember, Frank Castle and Kingpin have a connection together. And given Clint's brutal, his brutal assault on crime as Ronin and things like that, that would definitely catch the attention of Frank Castle. So seeing this guy reemerge again, I feel like would definitely bring Frank Castle back out to light, would bring out Frank Castle. So it would be cool if we got, a cameo from John Bernthal. But, it may not happen. I don't know. But regardless, but Punisher has a connection with Kingpin from the Netflix series too. They have an interesting connection. I actually like their dynamic a lot. Their dynamic was pretty cool. So, but those are the people that he likes from the Marvel Netflix universe. So that doesn't include Mike Coulter, and they're going to look. I know there's some people out there that want Iron Fist. They want Danny Rand to be white. They're going to make him Asian. I'm telling you right now, they're going to make him Asian. They're going to make him Asian. Me personally, I don't care. Personally, make him Asian, make him white, make him. I don't care. Just make it good. Make it better than the show that was already there. Make it better than that, please. But it's sad because I liked Mike Coulter as Luke Cage. I liked season 1 a lot. I feel like they should have never killed off Cottonmouth. Spoiler alert if you didn't see Luke Cage. Cottonmouth is now Blade, so that's probably why they're not bringing him back, because it would be like a conflict of interest and things because the guy playing Blade, Mahershala Ali, also played Cottonmouth in that series. So they're probably going to retcon that. And basically the weaker shows are going to get rid of, which then sucks because I liked the actress that played Misty Knight in that show. I'm drawing a blank on the actress's name. She was in Altered Carbon 2, season 2, that show. But regardless, man. So I know I gave that differing perspective, of Daredevil, because look, I feel like we got the perfect 3 seasons, man. Especially season 3. Season 2 was fantastic. I know a lot of people have critiques about the Elektra half of the season, because it was kind of like they broke the show up into like the first 4, the first 4 or 5 episodes, I believe, was the Punisher centric episodes. Then the next couple episodes was Elektra and Hand centric. Then you got like a kind of like a combination of both, and all the stories kind of merged together at the end, things like that. So, and they even told like a mini Punisher story within that show. So it was dope, man. I love the actress that plays Karen Page. I really love the actor that plays Foggy. I think this Foggy is freaking amazing. And I like the cop in that show too, the black cop. I always forget Brent Mahoney. I think they called him Mahoney in the show. I loved his character, man. He was like a great Jim Gordon-esque figure that they kind of built in the Daredevil show. So that was dope to see. But yeah, man. But all that being said, I think we're going to see him in No Way Home. Like I said, if y'all have seen the leaks, if you know, you know. And I think it's possible, like they said in the article, that we'll see him in She-Hulk. I'm gonna watch She-Hulk. Like I said, the teaser they showed me didn't wow me, but they could literally drop a trailer tomorrow and I'll be in love with the show. So who knows? But they could put him in that. Just if they were to do a revival show, I will say this: if they do a revival show, I don't know how I'm going to feel about it, because it's not going to be. I feel like it's not going to be like the Netflix show, man, and it kind of can't, because it's going to exist on Disney Plus. Now, we've been getting some dope action with the Disney Plus shows in terms of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I thought Loki even has some dope action set pieces in it as well. WandaVision was, it wasn't like an action packed show, but when they did do the action, it was pretty cool. But Daredevil was next level fight choreography for me, man. Like that fight choreography, it wasn't like I'm not gonna say that it was like, nah, I can say that Bro, that fight choreography was crazy. A lot of that fight choreography was crazy. I actually thought it got bad in Defenders. Like Defenders, you could clearly tell like they didn't like set up these set pieces properly, or people didn't write them out, because there will be points where you would like see like characters just standing waiting to punch their. So it was a mess. But the Daredevil fight choreography was freaking amazing, man. So. But yeah, so if they were to do the revival show, look, just please try to stay as close to the continuity as you can. Stay as close to, I know, thematically and like in terms of like what's the word I'm looking for? They can't do like the R rating. You feel me? They can't do that. I feel like season 2 was more R rated than season 1, and even in season 3. Like I feel like the most bloodiest scene in season 3 was probably the scene where he's like punching Wilson Fisk, and that beautiful scene when he's punching Fisk and like the blood is smearing on the snow and or the white rabbit in the snowstorm painting that Vanessa get. Beautiful. That was a beautiful scene. That was, to me, that might have been the bloodiest scene maybe. So but yeah, man, I'm excited for this. Let me know if y'all are excited. Hop down in the comment section down below. Let me know how y'all feel about this. As always, like, subscribe, and share. Emphasis on all that. And yeah, man, Daredevil's back, baby. Charlie Cox is back. The Save Daredevil movement paid off, man. So that being said, y'all, peace. Easy.